The Arab League summit is just days away, and the Lebanon file is expected to dominate the agenda. What is the importance of this meeting for Lebanon, and might a last-minute deal be hatched ahead of it? Saudi television Channel 2 asks those questions and more to Prime Minister السنيورة. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is this a make or break summit for Lebanon?
No, I don't say that it's a make or break, you see, but definitely we look forward for this summit that it's going to really tackle so many topics pertaining to the Arab world and to the Arab cause, and particularly to the Palestinian cause and the Arab-Israeli conflict, and at the same time to tackle matters that has to do with Lebanon. The matter that has to do with the support of Lebanon, it has been already phrased, and the text has been already agreed upon, which is going to be presented in the summit. But I think there is some other matters that need to be addressed in the summit pertaining to Lebanon. That Lebanon has to be supported further, and to support the democratically elected Lebanese government in order to really do more in terms of arriving at a solution to the stalemate and the impasse that we have already been put in, particularly regarding the International Tribunal. This matter is that everybody knows that we are very much interested in having this International Tribunal, not only to uncover who really committed the crime, the assassination against Prime Minister Hariri and Bassel Rayhan and the others, and the other crimes that were committed later on, but to deter any attempt to really assassinate further, and to protect the liberties of the Lebanese and their democracy. Because Lebanon throughout the past 30 years has suffered a large number of political assassinations that did not only really reach towards politicians, but leaders of thought, clergy, editors-in-chief of papers, all these were assassinated. And the problem is that none of these crimes we came to know who did it and why it was done. So it is so important that after this series of recent crimes that were committed, it is very important to really go ahead in having an international tribunal, which was really approved by the Security Council. And this is the thing that we are still really discussing this matter. Although during the past, let's say, months, there were lots of meetings and discussions. The national dialogue tackled this matter of the International Tribunal, and unanimously it was agreed. But when it comes to discussing the details, we find out there is a great deal of resistance. And this resistance is not only something that's happening because of Lebanese opinion. There is some, let's say, interference that's taking place that shows there's no high degree of cooperation from, let's say, others who are really expressing their views regarding the International Tribunal. So this Arab Summit, we consider it to be very important to support Lebanon, to support the steadfastness of the country, and in its ability to withstand the pressures that were exercised on Lebanon throughout the past 30 years. Lebanon, in this period, suffered significantly in terms of people who really lost their lives, people who really suffered in terms of injuries, people who were pushed outside of the country, and in the loss of opportunities that we had. And at the same time, Lebanon had no debt whatsoever in 1975. Now it has over $40 billion of public debt. Its personal, let's say, per capita income was double that of Cyprus in the 1975. Now it is a quarter that of Cyprus after 30 years. So you find out the degree of suffering, and that's why we consider that the Arab Summit is important to really safeguard this phenomena of Lebanon, this arrangement that is unique in the whole world. It's very important to get the support because we do consider Lebanon is a necessity not only for the Lebanese, but it's a necessity for the Arabs as well, and the Muslims.
But will Lebanon be sending 2 delegations to the summit, one headed by President Emil Lahoud and the other by yourself?
Well, the problem is that President Lahoud starts with the assumption that he considers that this government is non-existent anymore. This is his point of view. And this is not correct because this government, first of all, has the majority in the parliament, which is the authority that considers anything legitimate or constitutional or non-constitutional, because this is the parliament who are elected by the people, and it is supported by the majority among the Lebanese, and supported by the Arab world and all friends around the world, the majority of countries. And the mere invitation of the Lebanese government to be present in the summit was already explained and really it has been said to the president that Saudi Arabia, as the host country, is inviting the government because it considers the government as the democratically elected government, and that's why it's going to be there. Now, we would have loved not to have two delegations, but that was really is a necessity after the position taken by the president. In the meantime, I think there are plenty of things that we can really work on so that we can express our views to the members in the summit and to all our let's say sister countries and our brothers who are responsible, so that to understand the position and to support Lebanon, to support the Lebanese in their efforts to safeguard the independence, the sovereignty of the country, and that not to have others to interfere in its affairs and not to become as a battleground for others, or not to become a sandbag, so that others they use it to protect themselves. Lebanon is a nation, is a country. It's not a battleground. And that's what we really want to emphasize in our meetings with all our friends and sister countries.
But the country has been stuck in a political stalemate now for 4 months, and it was precipitated by the opposition's calls for a national unity government. Yes. The president's term runs out in September, and with a new president, there will be a new government. Yes. So some people say, why not agree to the opposition's demand for a 19 plus 11 cabinet ministers, because that government will have a very limited life anyway.
It's not a matter of a limited time. You see, those who are saying this, they do control the president. And they do control the Speaker of the House, who is actually, and this is something unique. I mean, it's no precedent to that. The Speaker of the House is not allowing the Parliament to convene, and this is unconstitutional. So, in spite of this, they are saying, "Look, give us a veto power, which is unprecedented." I mean, a minority, they would have a veto power. And we will allow you to start discussing with us the matters that has to do with the International Tribunal. You see, by doing so, they are starting by politicizing the International Tribunal, one. Secondly, is that they are really asking something which, and in the end, is going to reach to a new set of problems in the country, because this is not the way how things are really done. There is, in any democracy, there is a majority and there is a minority or a opposition. The majority rule and the opposition do its best in order to really sway the minds of the people, so that in the next election they will be able to defeat the people in the government. This is the way how democracies really operate. What they are saying, that they want to put their hands on the executive power as well, What we have been suggesting, we have been taking let's say, a good step and extending a hand and saying, let's sit down, let's talk to each other, let's have a dialogue. And we are ready to make a step, a positive one, so that to arrange to expand the Lebanese government, instead of 24 to make it 30, in accordance with our constitution, is that we will allow the opposition to be present in the government, to take a more active role without leading it towards resignation or paralysis, and we will assure the majority that they will have a role, but not to the point of imposing things on the majority. So that with this arrangement that we have already invented, and this is the crux of the Arab League initiative that is based on 1910 and one as an independent. Nevertheless, we have been telling the opposition that it is high time that we should really go hand in hand in order to implement the things that we have agreed upon. We have agreed in the national dialogue on a certain matters that we should really try to implement. We have to agree on the 7 points plan, which is the basis for the issuance of the Security Council Resolution 1701, in which we have an interest in the implementation of such a resolution. So we are doing our best to engage the opposition, and they are still insisting on something, and actually they are playing snooker with us. The problem, it is the international tribunal. It seems that the pressures that are being exercised on them by outsiders, by the Syrians, by the Iranians, is not to have the international tribunal. And this is the thing that we have to really concentrate on in the coming period. And this is the position of the Arab world, and in the Arab Summit is supporting Lebanon in having an international tribunal.
Saudi Arabia has offered your government major support. How has that helped?
Well, it helped significantly. In fact, the major support for Lebanon so that it can deal with the damages that were inflicted on Lebanon by Israel during the last invasion, it was quite instrumental. Saudi Arabia has already donated $570 million and has already deposited in the central bank $1 billion as a cushion for guaranteeing stability. And in the conference of Paris, it has already donated $100 million, which is supposed to be transferred soon to Lebanon. This support is quite instrumental, and in fact, it is a catalyst for the support of other Arab countries. We look forward for, let's say, all our Arab brothers, so that they can really understand that it is so important to help Lebanon to withstand the pressures. Lebanon effectively, throughout the past 30 years, has been suffering significantly. Lots of people got killed and so on, lots of damage and destruction. And this cannot be resolved if no support can be given to Lebanon. So in this regard, one can really speaks very highly, with great appreciation, to the initiatives that were made by Saudi Arabia and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Abdullah bin Abdul Aziz, to what he has been really doing and what Saudi Arabia has been doing, and the support they extended to Lebanon for the Taif Accord, which is the basis for our new constitution, and at the same time what they have been doing to support Lebanon politically, economically, financially. And I believe that this is very helpful to Lebanon. And this summit is so important to Lebanon, because we believe that Lebanon needs that support. And at the same time, there is an increasing awareness in the Arab world that Lebanon is a necessity, not only for its people, for the Lebanese themselves. It is a necessity for what it really signifies and represents for the Arab world and for the Muslim world. It signifies convivencia, the living together of these 18 confessional groups, they are together, and this can really send a right message to the whole world that we don't believe in the struggle of civilizations. We believe in the cooperation, in the living together. In this convivencia, this is what we really believe. And that's why we strongly think that this summit is so important to Lebanon in its quest for democracy, for openness, for sovereignty, and for its freedom, and for the implementation of 1701, which was really issued after the invasion of Israel to Lebanon. All these are important matters that we believe that our sister countries, it is in their interest, in the interest of the Arab world, to support Lebanon.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.